I for imaginative, E for excellent, L for laid back, T for tuned in, S for smart. Yes, it's time again to learn some new vocabulary and revise the previous one for the IELTS speaking test with me, Michelle. By the way, do you know revise has a synonym? What is it? To brush up. Whenever I think of this word, I think of a big brush brushing through my brain cells. Just to let you know, if you want to learn about IELTS speaking test and what all it includes, please look at my video FAQs on the IELTS speaking test. The link is in the description. And also, if you want to know about other criteria for the IELTS speaking test, look for my other videos on IELTS. Let's look at the criteria Lexical Resource, which means to talk about vocabulary. Yes, this is one of the criteria on which you will be assessed in the IELTS speaking test, and trust me, it's very important. Not just for speaking, for writing, listening, speaking, reading, everything. So let's go. So the first thing that you should do for the IELTS speaking test for this criteria is use vocabulary flexibly. But what is flexibly? Let's see. It means to use the same word in different contexts, means in different situations. But how? You can create a mind map. I suggest that you categorize words. So for example, you're reading a newspaper and you come across certain words about sports in an article. So you can categorize them in the form of a mind map like sports, kick, lose, run, win, and play. Now I'm going to show you how you can use one word in different contexts through an example. The word we have is advice. Yes. So you can use this word to talk about relationships. But in which task? In task 1. Yes. Just imagine the examiner asks you the question that why did you choose the career that you're having right now? What would you reply to that? You can say that it was my brother's advice. It was my brother's advice that I go for medicine as a career. So that's where you can use it for your relationships. Let's look at the second one. Describe your favorite newspaper. Which task should this be? This should be task 2. Absolutely. But how will you use the word advice here? You can say that I love to read XYZ newspaper because of its advice column, which is authored by experts. Now here, advice is an adjective. Let's look at the next one. Effects of eating out. Which task should this be? We've done task 1, task 2, and now we have task 3. Effects of eating out in task 3. So you're given this topic and you have to speak on this topic. So here you could use the word advice when you're giving a personal example. You could say that my advice to my nephew who's getting overweight is to not eat out. That's how you can use it in the task 3. So now you have an idea how to use the same word in different situations. However, do remember, be careful that you don't overuse the same word. With that, we look at the next thing that you should do in the IELTS speaking test for vocabulary. Paraphrasing. What does this mean? This means that you should try to explain a word which you cannot find. Strange, isn't it? Happens sometimes. But how will you explain a word? By describing the word. Trust me, you'll get some brownie points for this and you will surely get some extra marks. You have nothing to worry. So let me give you an example. In task 1, if the examiner is talking about your studies and he asks you, how was your first day at college like for task 1? You can reply, I can't explain the feeling. I felt some disappointment and some excitement too because I did not make any new friends on the first day. However, I was expecting to make some good friends in the future. So what are you trying to do here? You're trying to explain the feeling for which you don't have a word. And here you're using some good vocabulary. When you're using the word disappointment and future, expecting, these are some awesome words, and you'll surely be given some extra points for this. Now we move on to the third point that you must do for the IELTS speaking test to improve your vocabulary. Let's go. Now we have the third thing that you must do to score much better in the IELTS speaking test for Lexical Resource, which means vocabulary. Let's look at this. You must try to use synonyms. Of course, you heard of synonyms before, but you don't know how to use them. Let's find out how. So the meaning of this is, you know, there are some words which are really tired words. For example, the word hot, but you can use a synonym for that. And that could be blistering. Yes, and what is that? That's an energetic word. So your aim should be that you have to get rid of tired words and you have to try using energetic words. I hope you'll be able to do that after this lesson. Let's look at how. So you can use a thesaurus. Of course, if you refer to a dictionary, you also have another part to the dictionary, and that's called a thesaurus, where you find synonyms for any word that you're looking for. And the other option that you have is to use a word card. Do you want to know what a word card is? I have an option. I have an example for you. I'll show you. Let's look at this word. Very sunny, right? So you can create a word card like this with a word on the front side, very sunny. And you can have its synonyms on the back side. For example, blistering, boiling, and sizzling. You can also write the example if you want to. My city sizzles in the month of June. That would be awesome, isn't it? So sometimes you can see this side and try to guess which word are these the synonyms for, and sometimes you can see the front side and guess the synonyms and also test yourself. So that's another way of getting rid of tired words and learning to use energetic words. Let's look further at an example. So in your speaking test, if you're to use these words, job, lunch, car, and women, and you use the word nice for all of them, just hear me, how monotonous does it sound? Nice job, nice lunch, nice car, nice women. That's really unimaginative. And you remember when we started the video, I said I for imaginative. If you want to be imaginative, then you can change these words. I'll show you how. For nice job, you could say a first-rate job, which means the same as nice, but even better actually. Nice lunch. Let's change both the words. We could say a sumptuous meal. For a nice car, maybe we can say an outstanding car. And if you want to say nice woman, you could say a smart woman. Isn't that? That sounds so imaginative, so excellent, and not at all laid back. Let's look at the second thing you must do to improve your vocabulary for the speaking test. You should try to use collocations and understand connotations for different words. I'll share the meaning with you right now. So let's look at what are collocations first. These are the words that go together that you can use together. There are always more than one words that you can use together. Perhaps there are always two words that you can use together. But how? I suggest that you practice it more and more, and it'll be awesome if you can watch our videos on collocations. We've done so many of them for you. You'll definitely improve your vocabulary through that. So an example would be, lions shout. Do lions shout? Ah, no. What do they do? Whoa. What is that called? Roar. So you could say lions roar. If you use shout, that shows that you do not have a very good vocabulary. Do a phone call. Do you ever do a phone call? I don't. I always make a phone call. So here's an example of 2 words that go together, and here's an example of 3 words that go together. There are many such videos we've done. Please refer to them. Let's look at what are connotations. Connotations mean the neutral or the positive and the negative association that words have. Don't worry, I'll explain it to you in a much easier way. So one way to practice connotations is to use it in a sentence. But how? Don't worry, we have an example here. So laid back. What kind of a word is it? Is it a positive word, a negative word, or a neutral word? I think laid back is a positive word. Yes. But why? If you want to say that you walk slowly or your way of walking is slightly slow, you could say I'm slightly a laid-back person instead of saying I'm a lazy person, which sounds so negative. So never use the word lazy, instead use the word laid-back. This is negative. And how about the word inactive? Means you're not active. This is a very neutral and a formal word. So be careful about where you use which word. If you're telling something good about somebody, you could use laid back. If you're telling something not so nice about someone, you could say he or she is quite lazy, like you're complaining. And if you're trying to be neutral, you could say this person is a bit inactive. So these are the different ways that you can use this different words that have the same meaning, right? And these are like synonyms, but they have a connotation, positive, negative, or neutral. With this, we come to an end of the lesson on lexical resource for the IELTS speaking test. I hope this lesson was fun for you and you won't make too many errors with word choice now. Do follow our videos on idioms and collocations to learn more. I hope to see you again with a new lesson and a new criteria on the speaking test. Till then, you take care and Miss Wei. I had a great time. Bye-bye.